I have 7 days to learn how to ride like a champion. Yamaha Champ School is an elite, top tier, if not the top motorcycle training program in the US. They have a 2-day track-focused curriculum that not only teaches you how to have better track times and be a better track rider on the track, it also helps those of us who are not track riders, who are street riders, how to survive and thrive on the street. Unfortunately, I'm here in Africa, so there's no way I'm going to get to one of their track-based trainings they have in the US. Well, I'm in luck because it turns out that they have an online program called Champ U, where they teach many of the same techniques they teach in their 2-day in-person program, but online, all from the comfort of my home. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 7 days. Yeah, but am I going to be able to learn how to ride like a champion after only 7 days? Well, I guess we're going to find out. My first thoughts about Champ U online were that since this is supposed to be the creme de la creme of motorcycle training, I expected the online school to have hours and hours of content. I was thinking it would be something like a Udemy course with there's like 9-hour courses, 30 hours, even 100 hours of video. I was thinking, hey, it's time to lock in. So when I signed up, I was prepared to sit down, settle in, and spend a long time watching and absorbing a bunch of information. But actually, the way they structured it surprised me. The lessons that they're giving are pretty condensed into these short nuggets. Most of the videos are probably under 5 minutes. Some are a little longer, some are a little bit shorter, but overall, it's super compact material. What that tells me is they're not trying to drown you in hours of video. They want to give you these dense, focused concepts that you can then go out and practice. So instead of a huge time commitment, the full course is maybe around 3 to 4 hours if you watch every single video straight through, but the real learning comes from practicing what you watch. Regarding the course, now that I've finished the whole course, it exceeded my expectations. Honestly, I went back and forth on whether to even buy it in the beginning. I don't have this fast sport bike going around doing all these track days. I ride a 150cc bike in Africa. I do a lot of off-road mixed with on-road riding. I was wondering if the online curriculum would be too track focused or too technical, stuff about suspension settings, tire compounds, and all this other stuff. Maybe beyond what I would even need for the type of riding I do here in Africa. Basically, I would say it was pretty accessible though. The concepts were simple, they were powerful, there were things I vaguely knew about, but then while watching the video, those concepts would just suddenly click with me. I realized from learning from the video that even small changes in technique that I picked up from watching the videos made a huge difference in my understanding and riding. The Champ U online course is for anyone who rides curves, street or track. I mean, like if I had to boil it down, I would say it boils down mostly into curves. How to take curves, how to brake. I mean, there's other things, of course, but it's essentially a navigating curves and braking course because that's a lot of what you do on the track. I mean, you accelerate, you brake, and you take a curve. And that also is what we do on roads, right? Even if you are not chasing lap times, which it would definitely help you with, it's more about control and safety with the brakes and navigating curves because so many people in the US, at least, most accidents that don't involve a separate vehicle are, I don't know if it's like 30 or 40% that actually happen because of poor navigation of a curve. Maybe they overshoot a curve. And that's where most of the accidents that happen for those involving a single vehicle, such as the motorcycle by itself. This is because of poorly taking curves. Having those control and safety principles that they teach in the online course will help. It's very necessary and it applies everywhere, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Asia, Africa, whether you're doing off-road riding, whether you're doing on-road riding, or like myself, who does a mix of it all of it was very helpful. One thing I would say is that if you are a complete beginner, I do recommend something like the MSF course or the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course. If you're in the US, of course, for those who are abroad in certain European countries, you already kind of have your courses that you have to take. You can't even ride without those courses. But for those in America where they have an option, I would definitely say take the MSF course, at least. If I had taken this course with zero experience, I might have felt overwhelmed, not because the concepts are super hard, but there's a kind of lack of familiarity. And it's like, hey, this is a lot of information. If you're completely new, you're having to apply a lot of small new things that would just begin to add up. So I would definitely say that it's good to take the MSF course first if you're in the US and a newer, fresher rider. Now, the only thing I would say as a caveat to that is if you're going to be taking this course and then right afterwards, you're going to be doing the in-person course. That's because the Yamaha Champ School people said they actually do work with a lot of beginners and are able to do well with beginners.
Now, if you're only taking the online course without going in person, then I would say as a fresh beginner, take an MSF course and get comfortable riding a motorcycle for at least a few months. Or if you do decide to take the online Champ U course right away, make sure to try to revisit the course after you've had a few months of riding. The key thing about this training is that you can't just watch the videos and think you're good. You really need to practice if you're going to do this course. Or that's what I would recommend, at least, and I keep on recommending. You can practice in the parking lot. Basically, you need 2 places to practice, 2. You need ideally a parking lot or some large open space to practice some of it. And secondly, you need curvy roads, like roads with curves that don't have too much traffic, you know, like a quiet curvy road. If you can have both of those, you're going to get the maximum out of this course because that's what you're going to be practicing in the drills. So if you live at a place where there's no curves in the roads near you, or you know, the roads are like straight lines, I guess you could find a large parking lot. And if you can get some cones, you can kind of create some curves with the cones. I mean, although that's not optimal, it's not the same as the curves in the road, but hey, it's something. Know that this is not one of those parking lot only kind of courses. If I did have a critique about the drills though, it would be some of them are not really explained super clearly. Sometimes the instructors were kind of, I don't know, like hesitating in their wording, or the demos might feel a little rushed, or they were just kind of giving you more general ideas to consider and not really a formal drill of, hey, do ABC. I mean, most of the drills, they do tell you instructions, ABC, do this. But on some of them, they just threw in something that feels like an open-ended thing, such as, hey, think about this and try it out when you go next time, or something like that. I wish that there were some times that they were more crisp or gave more detailed examples in some of their drills or detailed instructions. Now, many of the drills were very clear. I mean, I'm saying many of the drills were clear, but others could have used some more details. Having additional clarity on some of the drills would be very helpful. But again, that's just a small thing. I do feel like they do a tremendous job with the drills in general, and that they were very helpful. What I just said is a small suggestion. If they ever redo the course, that, hey, you know, maybe add in a few more details for the audience so they can get even more clarity out of it. Another drawback is that, of course, inherent in an online course, which is not their fault, is that you don't get any feedback, right? I mean, this is a very low cost course, relatively speaking, to the in-person course. So you're not going to get the feedback, and therefore when you do the drills, it's just you trying to interpret what you understand the instruction was and to apply it. You may not know if you're really executing certain things exactly perfectly, and you know that's understandable. Like I said, it's a $99 course, okay? So it's just meant to add to your comprehension, get some self-practicing, illuminate you on certain things, and hopefully make a difference in how you perceive certain things in your skill level. There is so much information though. Even if you get a part of the information, you're going to be much better off for taking the course than not taking the course. All that said, I just think that you will get the best bang for your buck if you're going out and doing the drills. The true value in this course is not going to be this thing where you just sit there and watch and be like, okay, I'm going to remember all these concepts they gave me. For sure, it'll always make sense to me. If you don't practice, it's going to leak out of your head. And if you do practice and then don't keep practicing, of course, then it's also going to leak out of your head. Because when you practice, you're going to know your bike better, understand your braking better, you're going to improve your body positioning. These are all these kind of things that they're going to help you to do. And doing it is just much better than only hearing it. Okay, so for the course, it's about 12 modules plus the 13th that gathers all the drills together from the previous 12 modules with the lessons. Each module has around 4 lessons. Most videos are about 5 to 6 minutes long, so it's not this giant overwhelming thing. As I said before, you can do an entire module in about 20-30 minutes. That kind of makes it easy to fit into your week. If you kind of want to space it out over several weeks, you don't have to do the whole 7-day jamming it all in. I jammed it all in because I had other things to do. So I had this week available. I decided I could jam it all in because I didn't know what my time may be like afterwards. This course would be better to be spaced out, to be honest. You could do something like watch the videos on a Friday night and then practice on the next day, like a Saturday. And so even 10 or 30 minutes of practice after you watch the videos will help you quite a lot. So the $1 million question: do I ride like a champion after 7 days? Drum roll. No, but I'm closer. I'm closer to ride like a champion, closer than I was at least before I started. I started building champion habits, so my confidence and skill definitely grew. If you're serious about riding safety, I can't imagine not spending $100 if you have it, definitely for something like this. If you got $100 lying around, available, this is definitely well worth it. And many times they run discounts like $25 off. So you could get it for like $75. I happened to go to their website and I saw they had it for $75. They had it for $25 off, which I paid around $75. Some people have gotten in the past for $50. I don't know if they're still doing that, but even getting it at $25 off and paying $75 is great. For me, this course didn't just improve my skills. it at least made me a bit closer to riding like a champion, so to speak, I guess you could say. It also made me want to take the in-person Yamaha Champ School course even more. I know that having pros actually watch me would take me to another level, way beyond. But even with this online course, I already have seen a lot of improvement. So hats off to Champ U and hats off to the Yamaha Champ School team. I really hope I could join you in person one day, maybe when I visit the US next year, who knows? So all the way from Africa, thank you.
Don't leave just yet. My name is Asha. I'm an American expat that's learning how to ride motorcycles here in Africa.
I'm also going to be talking about cultural elements about living here in Africa and just the experience of living in Africa in general here, but through the eyes of a motor vlogger. You can also follow me along as I show you how to do maintenance and upkeep and repair of motorcycles. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and let's ride together.